human has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The right to life means that you have the right to live as a person. The right to liberty means that your freedom can't be taken away. The right to the pursuit of happiness means that you have the right to do things for your best interest. Have you ever heard of a place called Manzanar? It is one of the many famous Japanese American internment camps. Now, I want you to picture this. You're being forced to sleep in a place that you don't want to be in. You're here because people are afraid that you're dangerous just because you have Japanese heritage. This is terrible and unfair. They are taking away your rights. Hi, my name is Brooklyn Strickland, and for my 2025 Pasco Speaks, I decided to discuss the topic of the Japanese American internment camp. How did this unfairness start in the first place? Well, it was because of the attack on the U.S. naval base Pearl Harbor near the Imperial Japanese Navy. The attack scared others and caused President D. Roosevelt to order the Japanese Americans to the internment camps. I bet you didn't know that around 11,070 Japanese Americans were processed through Manzanar. What was their reason for putting these people in the internment camps? Well, Manzanar was created to house Japanese Americans who were deemed a threat to national security during World War II. The internment camps were not fit for people's everyday lives. There was a lack of facilities such as heating, beds, and washrooms. Where these were available, they had to be shared between hundreds of prisoners. The weather in summers got up to 110 degrees with no air conditioning. The people in Manzanar worked hard almost every day, even during the harsh climates. People received low-quality food, poor housing with little privacy, and a lack of basic amenities, and they couldn't go back to their homes or families. Because of the harsh conditions, around 150 people died at Manzanar. Japanese Americans in Manzanar had a right to fight back, and they did. On December 6, 1942, 10 were injured and 2 were killed in a riot. It started when prisoner Fred Tamaya was beaten and guard Harry Yuo was arrested for doing so. Others protested for Harry's release, but the military police opened fire at the crowd. This caused the injuries and even deaths. At first, it seemed there was no escaping Manzanar because of the guard towers and barbed wire fences. But surprisingly, up to 400 people escaped. How did they do this exactly? Well, the prisoners hid in garbage trucks, broke through barbed wire, and dodged searchlights. They were fighting to get their rights back once and for all. The government did not listen to complaints, and Manzanar lasted for 3 years. Many Japanese Americans weren't released until after World War II, if they made it that long. We can learn from our past, and it is our responsibility to make sure this doesn't happen again. The Manzanar internment camp was unfair and unnecessary. Every person deserves their rights, and the internment camp took them away. It is now our choice and our responsibility to protect the rights of our citizens. We can speak out against injustice, and we can stop this from happening once and for all.